So here we have the left-hand rear brake slash clutch setup from Clake. And it's a bunch of logos. Basically, I just opened the box. It's from Australia. My name's plastered all across the front of this box because I had to go through customs. So I figured I'd just start with the lid open. We got two new cables that are braided. Parts of what I don't know, or for what. Let's see. These are the different cams with different profiles. I think he was just being nice and sent me extras. I think there's already some in it, I would believe. We'll find out. But he knows I ride of various terrain, and being in the United States versus Australia, getting parts is a little bit more difficult. So those are some cams. Maybe he separated them. Maybe there's two sets. Or I don't know. Let's see what's in this one. Oh. Bolt with a hole in it, so maybe this is to plug the rear brake and just take the rear pedal off. A couple more decals, and they're like that thick, very thick plastic kind. And here's the unit itself. It says Clake, so it goes on the bar. Here's your, if you need to disengage the system, just push that in. I'll probably have to get it hooked up, but just push that in, and I do believe you pull in, and that will disengage, so you can like push the bike backwards. But out like that is normal. Here we have a fitting here and a fitting there. Maybe that bigger bolt's for here. I'm gonna have to figure it out, I guess. But try to get some close-ups. Now this system's not cheap. He sent me some flyers too. I believe it's like he's looking at $1,295. And yes, that's a lot of money. Well, I know some people are going to say, well, why didn't you go with a recluse system? Well, I just don't like the recluse system. That's just a personal preference. I'm not a racer. I think it'd probably be good for racing, where the throttle, you always have it wide open. So it's locked. The clutch is locked. I do a lot of slow riding. And being Colorado, there's a lot of mountains. Well, pretty much I always ride in the mountains. So yes, there's a lot of mountains. I'm always in the mountains, and I can see the benefit of this, having the rear brake as part of your system up here. So how this should work once I get it up, and I have an event coming up, so I'm not going to put this on until after I do the what's called the elephant ride. It's just a fun get together winter. So I have a guy that wants to look at one of these, so I will probably just take this in the box and show him what it looks like. Maybe show other people what it looks like. But it's probably going to be a few weeks. Right now I'm working on the XR650R in the garage. So try to do one bike at a time here. So how this basically works, and obviously I'll do another video once I have it installed and the installation. We'll do a video for installation also. So how this works is I already mentioned about, to disengage, you just press that in, pull back, and you can push your bike back to totally disengage the system. So normally it would be here, and so you would go through the different cam profiles while riding. And the cams determine at what point does it go from clutch to brake. So you can have them overlap a lot or a little, and as you're pulling in for the clutch, so the clutch I only have to ever pull in a little bit. So if I accidentally, getting used to this, pulling a lot, it's just going to be the rear brake. Not a huge deal. It's not like it's the front brake where you're going to go down. And so I'll pull that in partly, and that's the clutch. That's all I'll have to do to engage the clutch. And when I'm doing a right turn going down a hill, I can pull it in all the way and have that rear brake swing me around versus, you're doing a right hand turn going downhill and it's gnarly. You can't usually put your foot on the brake, and you're kind of getting tossed about, and if you don't have your foot on the rear brake, you only have the front brake, which, well, that can be scary in itself if it's steep. So, I can see the benefit of this to being able to let me just drag that rear tire around corners using this in the mountains. The slow going that I do and on trails like Independence Trail, which I just put a video up of, big boulder fields, this will be nice. I won't have to worry about that rear brake. And in fact, if this, I probably can just delete the rear brake, and that's what they say you'll most likely do after using this for a while, which in a way will be nice. It's one less pedal to brake, I might leave it on because I have to get used to it, and as a oh my god situation, maybe I'm on the street and car pulls in front of me. I don't ride my two-stroke much on the street, although it's plated, but when I go trail to trail, it could happen, I guess. I haven't had that happen yet versus riding a sport bike. You always have people doing that. Okay, and then there's other systems. There's systems where you can have two levers set up where you have your traditional clutch, and then you add a second one for your brake, whether it's up or below. That just seems kind of awkward, and I can see why people do that. It's a lot cheaper than this. But I don't like clutter. So this will be nice. It looks pretty compact versus, seeing pictures online, it looked huge, but I'm glad to see that it's not as big. It seems pretty small. It seems like it will fit in there good. And I hope I don't have to reroute much. I'm assuming. Sounds like people in Australia like this. So by going user reviews from Australia, because that's where pretty much all the user reviews are at, everyone loves it. So I'm hoping I love it, and I'm hoping that I love it a lot, and a lot of people see this, and maybe this will become more of a norm here in the States. Again, I know it's a lot of money, but you gotta look at it. There's a lot of engineering that went into this. This isn't a mountain bike rear brake system like Recluse uses and changes puts a spacer in to make a little bit more bigger reservoir, and then charges $300 for a $60, $80 system. So, at least here I feel good about it's a quality system, and it was engineered from the ground up. So there we have it. The Clake. This is the Clake with a lot. It comes with everything. And I'll probably get back with you guys within a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, to see about the installation of this and get it installed, and then show how it's used, and then take it out and do probably another review on the result, and hopefully follow that up after using it for a year. So there we have it, the Clake with a lot.